till it ain't beef left. I don't got no time for no antics. The last one stranded, the last man standing.
Hey everybody, so welcome in. This is our Storms Brewing 2.0 town hall. I'm joined by, of course, wow, is it lagging? Okay, there it goes. Anyway, I'm joined by Richard and Joel Huenink, the co-founders, and of course I'm Lathan, one of the senior developers. I do want to say one thing real quick about the drops. Everything should be good now as far as syncing up. Xbox, I know there was a problem before, but we fixed that, so everything should be good now as far as that goes. Someone wanted me to make sure to say that, so I got that in. But now we're gonna go ahead.
Get it done.
But now we're gonna go ahead and let Rick take over. Go ahead, Rick.
All right. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to the first ever TFP Stream 2.0 Town Hall. We're here tonight to talk about what we could do better with 2.0. We want to thank you all for all the feedback that you've been giving us. And, we wanted to let y'all know that we're listening. The team has been reading feedback from Reddit, forums, social media, influencers, and singled out a number of topics that we think we could do better on. 2.0, we tried a few new things, and some of it went well, some of it could be better. And to that end, we're going to get into some details in the stream. We're also going to get into some details of some point release updates between 2.0 and some 3.0 stuff. So let's dig in. Let's get going.
Okay, so everybody, I'm going to be kind of asking some questions to the guys. Actually, I think one of them you have me answering it too. So, but I'm going to try to ask questions to them to kind of feed this along. But we're going to start with so why did we put in loot stage caps? Joel, take her away.
All right. Well, thinking ahead as part of the 4.0 story update, we wanted to guide the player to facilitate the story and encourage the player to explore other biomes and the entire world. After listening to the community and examining the system, we agreed this is not needed and removed it for the next patch. The game already has loot biome bonuses and POI loot bonuses per tier, so there is already incentive to explore the world and move on.
Cool. Okay. Well,
those are gone. Those worried about the loot stage caps, they're gone. There's only the bonuses.
Yep.
Okay. So here, and actually, I've been told that you are just a little loud, so I'm just going to turn you down real quick, just a hair. Okay. So now let's go ahead and talk about the biome progression. So kind of the same thing. Why did we put in the biome progression? Let's go with Richard this time.
So biome progression was needed to pave the way for the final story and Bandit implementation. Albeit we think we can do a more open-ended sandbox version that we have in mind, which we'll get into in a little bit. So that's really why we did it. We to tell a story, you need a solid guided way to get to that story, and if it's all open-ended, you can't facilitate the story because of the conditions in programming.
Yeah. Okay, man, you're flying through these really fast. Okay, so can we make biome progression work with sandbox play, Joel? What do you think?
Oh, well, here's what we're doing. The biome challenges are going to be changed so that the biomes can be unlocked in any order to promote sandbox gameplay. So you can go straight to the wasteland and go and do that challenge first if that's something you feel like doing. Biomes are still going to have increased difficulty in order of the pine forest, burnt forest, desert, snow, and then the wasteland. And we're also keeping the option to turn off biome progression.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
we can do that. We can do that, and it still facilitates a story mode, if you will. It won't break it.
And everyone, keep in mind, so we've always thought of this as having a mode. You know, we would have our story mode and then also a sandbox mode, which we're going to talk a little bit about later. That's always been, yeah.
Yeah, we got some exciting news coming.
I'm not trying to jump ahead, but I just want you all to know that that's always kind of been in our mind as we do these things. We've always kind of had that plan where, hey, you know, we hope to have just a straight sandbox mode.
So we all wanted to speak to that a little bit. We all wanted to enjoy a story mode with the 4.0 update, but we also want to acknowledge that the sandbox way is a fun way to play, nomadic, and we had 16 alphas that did not have quests, and so we'll get into that later, as Lathan said, but
definitely I just wanted to touch on it just a little bit because, you know, we were talking about sandbox a lot, so
we are.
Let us move on to the next question. So can we make biome progression more immersive and realistic? Let's start with Joel on that one.
Badges? We don't need no stinking badges.
You really did it. I didn't think you were going to do it. Okay.
I had to do it, you know.
No, it's fine.
The badge idea.
References.
So we're going to do away with the badges, but let me get to that after we talk about it a little bit. The badge idea came from the mindset that we didn't want players to have to swap out armor or clothing items whenever they wanted to go to a different biome. You know, the Barbie dress-up game was just, I've done it in Ark and other games, and it just wasn't something we wanted to do. So we're trying to find another way around that. The thought was to give the player a generic item that wouldn't be a piece of gear. So by learning all about the biomes and completing their challenges, you were essentially earning a scout badge. So what we're going to do is badges are going to be changed to various survival kits to have a more immersive theme, and they will include different themes of personal protective equipment. So, you know, names and objects are a little subject to change, but the general idea right now is, smoke survival kit for the burnt forest. You're going to have a firefighter respirator, and that'll be an actual item you equip onto your avatar into the character menu, or you could probably drop it onto your character and it'll go into it. It'll just be an icon. There won't be a physical thing you see, but you're going to actually have an item that you craft and place on your character to combat the smoke effect. And an interesting gameplay element there is, you know, when you die, that's going to be removed from your character and you won't have immunity to that biome anymore. So getting your stuff back, you might be prepared by having a smoothie, which is going to be changed to another item. We'll get to that. Or a backup firefighter respirator, on your motorcycle. So preparation will be rewarded.
The last stage of the challenge would allow you to craft the item, and it would also allow you to craft one for your friend who joins, so that he wouldn't have to go through the biome immunity challenge himself if he didn't want to. So you can keep your playing with your friends better.
Yeah. But I think there's going to be some more interesting gameplay with how we're going to change it. And then in the desert, you'll craft a heat survival kit, and it'll look like something like a bandana and a hat and sunglasses, and that'll negate the ambient heat hazard found throughout the desert biome. It won't protect you against, none of these will protect you against the storms, but they will give you protection against the default biome negative effects. And then the cold survival kit, it's kind of like one of them full balaclava, I guess you call it. I don't know how to pronounce it even, but one of them winter masks and some snow goggles. And then we'll have a radiation survival kit, and that's going to look like a biohazard mask with filters. And then the player model will not show any of these items, but you'll have an icon and the description of it, and it'll be an object that you craft. The new biome survival kits will become craftable unlocks. I guess Rick just covered that. I'm just going through the notes here, make sure we don't miss nothing.
And I can show it real quick, but it's going to show the old icons. So we have not switched the icons, but if you guys want, I can show kind of what it's going to look like on the character frame. Richard?
Yeah, if you want to show that, it's a work in progress, and the icons haven't been changed in names, but we are actively working on this plan that we think will make the biome progression and other aspects better. Yeah.
So as you can see, you'll have the 4, but they will have the correct. Oh, do I need to turn up my volume? Okay, here. There you go. So they'll have the 4 new icons. So they'll be kind of realistic items, but they will be still kind of swapped up here. So you'll be able to hold all 4 of them. I'm very quiet, man. Okay, hold on. What about now? Is that better? Can you hear me? Okay. Better. Okay, good. So like I said, I mean, there's really not that much to show everybody. It's a very work in progress. But you can see all 4 are here. You'll be able to take them out now and put them back in. Obviously, they will not have these icons. They will not be badges anymore. But you will have a crafting recipe for them when you unlock them. So.
Yep. Anyway. So no more going to the trader. You can just craft one and you're unlocked.
Yes. Yes, you can drop them to friends.
It's not even unlocked. You're only immune when you're wearing the item. So
yes,
protective gear.
Okay, so yeah. I mean that's basically it. I mean I don't have anything else to show in game because like Richard said, there's very little right now. It's still work in progress. So we'll show some other things, but let's move on to the next thing. Can you create something more immersive than smoothies and give them a later game use? Joel, I'm going to let you do that one.
Yes, we can. So all the biome hazard reducers, they're going to reduce physical storm damage by 50%. So there'll always be a use for these. And we're going to rename like the burnt smoothie will now become a black lung serum. It's going to use the injectable animation that we have. That's really cool. So you'll inject this when you're experiencing smoke damage and want to relieve yourself. So that's how we're doing that. The Oasis smoothie is going to be called the Sunstroke Tonic and beat sunstroke with hydrating electrolytes. That's the description we've got so far. Frostbite smoothie is now going to be Scorcher Stew, which is a fiery mix of meat, spice, and survival grit. One bite and you'll forget you're freezing. And then the Atomic smoothie is going to be called Fallout Flush, and the needle stings, and the Geiger counter goes quiet. So these are all, and that one's going to be injectable too. The other 2 will probably be drinks or one of a bowl of stew, a drink, and a couple injectables is what we're moving to on these.
Oh, hey, wait. There's something we didn't answer in the last thing that I just saw a question about it. We are taking away the linear order of it. So you can now go directly to the wasteland if you want.
We mentioned that.
We did? Yeah. Okay, so someone said something about it.
So
you could go straight to the wasteland now.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay, never mind. We did cover it. You just weren't listening.
So there's a Sandbox choose your own adventure order to that now.
Okay. So here now, let me go ahead back to my notes. Okay, so how about... So, can we make storms do more than just damage to the player? And put the player in timeout and add more immersion? How about... You know what, Joel? How about we have you answer this one as well?
Okay, so... Yes, what we're going to do there is each biome storm is going to have 2 stages. Stage 1 will have a unique debuff per biome, which will be appropriate, like coughing with smoke, or you're getting cold in the snow biome, you're overheating in the desert. We're basically bringing back proper weather survival paired with this. So paired with a unique debuff. So after you start getting cold, so to speak, and with a cold debuff, and then after you've been out in the cold too long, you'll start taking physical damage like the current 2.0. So in the burnt forest will be smoke inhalation, desert will be sunstroke, snow would be frostbite, and the wasteland would give you radiation sickness. All these debuffs increase over time when you're outdoors in the storm. All the stage 1 debuffs recover over time when you're sheltered, escaping to a different biome or outdoors, or when the storm is over. We're reducing storm damage to encourage getting out into the storms more. It's probably going to Still going to be pretty rough in the wasteland, but the burnt forest will be the least hard to survive in, and each biome will get a little nastier. We're considering giving a greater chance for storm zombies to drop loot bags to give the brave players a risk-reward option during the storms. We're considering adding mild storms that only do stage 1 debuffs. So there'll be heavy-duty storms, and then there would be milder storms that just do the stage 1 weather effects, which we haven't really revealed what they are yet, but they're going to be realistic, more realistic, and in tune with what you guys would expect. And then we're also considering adding back some of the better weather touches, including fires, campfires, and torches will slow down the cold debuff. Being in water or rain will accelerate the cold debuff. Being in water or rain slows down the heat debuff. And we're keeping the option to turn off storms.
We're also, Sean's been working on storm duration frequency to make it a little shorter and friendlier, and additionally putting in, we're working on some options to decouple storm duration and storm frequency, potentially store damage in game options in a future patch.
Yep.
Okay. So next question. Can we make storm gear or mods to survive better in storms? Actually, I like calling on Joel for a lot of these. Joel, go ahead.
All right. So, yes, we can. I think we're going to, we haven't decided 100%, but we do want to bring some items back that will help combat this stuff. So we're thinking insulation mods and possibly tiers of those that will increase the amount of time that you can be out in a storm during stage 1. And these new mods can only be equipped in the chest slot, which prevents stacking. And alternative, we're talking about, maybe even bringing back clothing items that you won't really see them, but it'll be an icon and a description, so there could be tiers of clothing possibly that you could find, and you equip that into your armor. So you could find maybe like a hat, a beanie to go into your helmet, long underwear to go under your armor, warm socks, gloves, etc. Basically, clothing kind of like we used to have, and I think that would make the looting of the laundry baskets and washing machines a lot more interesting too. And I'm always needing more cloth. Scrap it if you don't need it, just like the old game. So we're talking about that and seeing how that can work. So that's it on that.
Okay, so can we make more options to control storms in the menu? I guess I
jumped ahead and covered that one already. Yeah, we're working on adding a couple menu options: storm frequency, storm duration, maybe storm damage, in a new expanded menu that gives us a lot more options. We're going to do some big things to the menu for a lot of game control options, simulations options, which are super important to players. I mean, part of our whole thing was like we thought, not everybody's going to like storms. Okay, well, let's allow them to turn them off. Not everybody's going to like biome progression. They want to play Sandbox, and we turn them off. But we're going to continue down the path of more control and more facilitate story mode, facilitate Sandbox mode there.
Cool. Okay, so can you make the new enemies fit better into the 7 days lore? How about we go back to Joel on this one?
So yes, we've already started on that, and we're modifying the Plague Spitter to fit our kind of central Arizona lore with a Native American looking Indian. And if you guys haven't noticed, a lot of our bandits are Native American, so it's really going to tie in well with the fact there's a lot of bandits.
The game is set in central Arizona where there's the Apache. So we're pulling it back into that lore.
Yeah, so we're kind of leveraging what we've been talking about. You've all seen the painting of the Duke in the game, and he's a Native American. So we want to start working more on that. And that was kind of coming with the Bandit update. But I thought, well, why not make this Plague Spitter kind of tie into that? So we've got a new model for him. I don't know.
I'm showing it.
You're showing it right now.
You're saying it. Yeah.
Cool.
Work in progress.
And then we're also doing the Frost Claw to kind of look more like a lumberjack or like a mountain climbing mountain man badass guy. I don't know if we're showing him today yet or not, but that's
We're
We're
not.
showing him quite yet, but
he's still we're working on him. I don't want to show him and then have him change and everybody go, oh, he was perfect or he sucks. I don't know. Anyway, we'll show them when they're done. But rest assured, they look like zombies and special infected, and they're not too fantasy, So we listened to your feedback and got to thinking about it, and we agreed. So we're getting those redone. Hope you all like it.
Okay, next question. Can you spawn less of the new enemies in the desert and snow biomes? I'm going to take this one, apparently.
I'm gonna take that one.
Yes, we can. No, we're gonna lower the rates, and then we're gonna make the challenges, not expect as many. That was a really simple question. That is all. Okay, so next, let's see. So, actually, Rick, do you want to talk about this part? I mean, this is kind of go ahead.
We've got a number of topics beyond 2.0 that could cover some things people have wanted. Some previous, some requests recently. It could get into a little bit of stuff that's like, earlier builds that, we thought we'd bring back or make better to the feedback we've been receiving. So the first thing, in this, we've been working on a third-person camera for a while, and we wanted this option to play the game for quite some time. And so Lathan has a video that he can show. Oh, it's playing.
Yep.
So this is showing that you can aim right or left shoulder. You can't cheat and shoot around a corner. It refuses it there. You'll see how it reacts to tight spaces and dynamically. Here, coming up here, you'll see some of that type of thing with the third-person camera here. You can see how the camera closes in because it knows it's tight, and here's an even lower area there. Being able to loot things, iron sights, all the bells and whistles needed to truly support third person. So, a lot of requests came for that, and recently, even actually the last year or two, we've heard quite a bit of that. So that's going in a point release before 3.0. The next topic is a lot of requests have come from tinting, and I'll let Joel talk about that.
So tinting is coming back. We just didn't have time to do it, but we're committed to it now. So we're going to bring back tinting for the player clothing or armor, so players will be able to have improved customization, and if all goes well, no promises, but we'll even do makeup, hair, and beards.
Yeah.
So it should be really cool.
So you'll be able to put your colors back on, everybody. So
Yep.
Show your style.
In our frenzy to get a 1.0 done for all formats, it sort of got overlooked. We didn't purposely take it out; it just got overlooked, and we were
with a whole new system, it just didn't exist, and it had to be coded in and implemented, and there's a lot of art support to do it right. So we've already been working on it, and so it's happening.
So we have another feature. It's in the game already. It's not turned on. It's called flat spot code. Well, what is flat spot code? Well, the game pre-caches and looks up eligible spots in the world that are 16 by 16 or 32 by 32 meters that are flat. And what does that do for us? Well, it allows us to look up and find better positioned dig quests, airdrops, and allow us to do more unique quest types in those areas, like dynamic events, more sandbox events in the game. So we can spawn something. We can spawn an oil rig where you have to go do a defense quest. We can spawn, but we're going to turn that on for flat spot for dig quests and airdrops, so they never end up like in weird spots, like on top of a house or on a road and things like that. And it is going to pave the way for additional quest types and dynamic event types in the game. it's something we've been working on behind the scenes. We work on a lot of stuff behind the scenes we don't share as much, but obviously I think more transparency would go a long ways, and that's what this is about, this whole session with you guys. I'll take the next one too. We've had a lot of requests for a colorblind option, so we're looking into icons over zombies' heads or something like that, with the colored zombies that would allow, and other bells and whistles that could come with supporting things for colorblind people.
More accessibility options. Yes.
Yes. The next topic is more weapons. Everybody wants more weapons, rare legendaries. I'm going to let Joel get into that.
So that's something I've had designed for years, but we're finally, getting to a position where we can pull the trigger on this, and I'm really excited about it. But we've heard a lot of people saying the game needs more weapons, so we're wanting to make rare legendary drops that have unique names, skins, special attributes, and these items would not be craftable. So it gives you a reason to keep looting, keep playing the game, and you could find some really cool, unique weapons late game. And I think I think everybody can relate to this when I say, kind of once you get all your purple gear, you're kind of done. So this is I think it's going to add a lot of legs to the game, adding in legendary weapons and armor and tools. So something we're pretty excited about.
Paired with that, we want to add in a game option for perma degradation, where Joel, why don't you cover that one too? I'm going to pick on you.
Well, once you got that purple weapon, there's no reason to keep playing for a lot of players. They just, unless you've got a really cool castle you're building, there's just like, well, I got the best gear. I don't know what to do now, so I'm done. Start over, play something else. So we want to put in perma degradation as a player option. If it's not for you, don't turn it on. But I'm kind of hardcore, and I think I'm personally going to enjoy it. And so all those parts that you're looting, or maybe your purple one's about to wear out. Well, the green one that you still have from earlier, is going to come into use. So I'm going to use that as my backup gun. So having your items degrade, maybe not for everybody, but I think it's going to definitely add a little more tension to the game, to where you're always, it's going to slow down the power curve a little bit. I think that makes it interesting. And, it gives people a reason to kind of keep going, too. And pair legendaries in with that, it's really going to be fun. So
the next topic, we've had a lot of folks say, put the sand back in the sandbox, make this game a survival game again. We had 16 alphas that were all sandbox, and you guys, have abandoned your roots. We love to support sandbox. We have basically kind of two versions of the game we're moving towards, where you would pick sandbox or story mode, and we want to truly support sandbox, similar to some of the previous older alphas. So we're discussing some game options to turn quests on and off, turn trader selling on and off, turn adjust food abundance, water abundance, ammo abundance, med abundance, weapon and parts abundance, more difficulty settings, advanced difficulty settings, allowing damage given and damage received to be adjusted separately, along with, we may solicit the community for additional sandbox options they would really like to see in the game. An expanded new menu will allow us to kind of go nuts with game options there.
Bigger backpacks.
Bigger backpack. Hell yeah.
Now keep in mind, everybody, this is not a finalized list. Do not be writing this down and saying, hey, this is exactly what they're going to put in. We're just giving examples of things that we could put in. So nothing is set in stone. They're just ideas. But a lot of those sound like easy to do things that we would like to do, because like Rick said, we want you to be able to customize your experience. That's always been the plan with Sandbox. So
I had a lot of fun Alpha 1 through 16, and I've had a lot of fun Alpha 17 to 2.0, and we realize there's a lot of diverse tastes in the style of game you want to play here. So we're attempting to accommodate and make as much of the audience happy about what we're doing as possible. So to that end here, let's get into the next topic. We want more stations in the game. Joel, what are we thinking there?
Well, we've had a lot of requests about adding more stations to the game, and it's funny because I was reading in the chat one of the actual items that's coming, but here's some new stations we're considering, and I've got designs done for, but we're looking at an apiary bee farm so you can make honey, because you're always getting infected, and I think it's something every player would love to craft, and and there's going to have 3 upgrade slots to it, just like the other workstations. And then the next up is we want to do a chicken coop so that you can have a passive supply of eggs and feathers. And that'll have mod slots as well to improve functionality, performance, all those things. And then the other one we're considering is like an electric or industrial stove so that you can cook way faster and more stuff at once.
So obviously, there's probably more station types we might consider. We might even ask community, what do you guys want? We're willing to, maybe you want a fort repair station or something like that. So the possibilities are considerable. So let's get into a little bit about 3.0. What's coming to 3.0. We've done considerable work towards Bandits. Some of the AI pathing has been worked on. We have 12 game stage Bandit models that are in. Most of them are like 90% done, but have a substance designer pass done to them. There are some where
marks are working, where they're like yelling at you and communicating with you in combat.
Yeah. So we're working on designing them with progressive inventory and capabilities, including melee, ranged, thrown items like grenades, Molotov cocktails, and self-healing. We will be supporting fetch and clear quests, but we are really hoping to get in something we're super excited about. We've never told the community. So if you're in this call, you're one of 7,600 people that get to know this right now. We want to do a new quest type called Blow Up the Building, and we've been working on a stability system where the blocks are grouped into larger sections and fracture. And Lathan is going to show you an early video of blowing up a building. The particle effects are placeholder, but this gives you an idea. This is going to facilitate a much faster experience for destroying a building, and so we're super excited about that quest type. You go in, you plant several charges, and then you go out and you hit a detonator. And who doesn't want to do that in a game with bandits? I mean, really.
And regular destruction will use the new system too. So
Yes.
the zombies knock your fort down, instead of a bunch of little pieces falling straight down, you'll have these organic collision chunks falling and tumbling.
We'll be adding improved VFX, debris meshes, improve how terrain is augmented when it falls, and all of that to wrap this up nicely. We've been dreaming about that quest type for a long time.
Yes.
I think we've been talking about it for a decade, maybe.
Feels like it.
Yeah. Well, it's been a decade. I think we've been talking about it for a long time. We could, I don't know if there's additional kind of questions we could field, but I think we've kind of got through a majority of what we wanted to cover tonight.
The only problem is, everybody, your questions flow down the screen. So it's hard for us to pick your questions out. And so that's why we kind of had this list of questions that we were, trying to answer in this order. So, I mean, we could try, but I don't know if it's going to be, it's just going to be them spamming questions. And
yeah, I don't know if I can slow down the slider.
Yeah.
Blow up Megaton. I read that.
It will be Tenpenny Tower brought down only legit it's not smoke and mirrors. It really happened. Hell yeah. You can't do that in Fallout.
I'm looking at it and I can't get one question out. Fishing. I still think we might. I don't know. We'll see on that one. I've always wanted that, but
We discussed new weapons. Somebody said that. So part of that, legendary could be, augmented, consist other weapons with new skins, but it could mean a new model and a super weapon like a flamethrower. We could go there. We'd like to go there with sort of, different weapons too.
okay. Well, I think this is probably where we should stop because I don't think. I just don't think we're gonna get any. Well, actually, hold on. I did see one. Steam Workshop, because I saw someone saying something about it earlier. We told you a while back that we're doing that.
Well,
that is in the plans.
Hey, yes, we have a staff member. Many of us love mods, support mods, have done so much work to make sure mod support is working no matter what we do. That's part of our DNA. We're not against the modders, we're with the modders. We're for them. Just so you all know, we can't do everything that we want, but sometimes they can. And that's good.
Yeah, we have a roadmap that we are focused on. So I mean, it's good if they can add in different things, but the bandits y'all keep bringing up, we are working towards them, as we said just a minute ago, and that's we're going to try to stay focused on that as best as we can.
We are, just so you know, when we're reacting to feedback and we're changing our production plan, we are effectively delaying bandits. Just so you know. So when you request a lot of stuff and you come in numbers and you ask for it and we say, all right, we're listening, we're going to do this, that costs us time. So but if you want storms to be better, you want progression to be better, then we're gonna commit that time to it, and we're gonna do our best to try to deliver bandits as well, but it will impact some of our staff.
Yeah. And bandits, we just really want to get right, so that's why it's just taking a little bit, because we have a lot of ambitious goals for it with a voxel game, so we'll get there. And as we said earlier, what is it, 13 different ones? That was crazy.
So
yeah,
I'm going to spoil something a little bit right now.
Oh crap!
But don't worry, if you've been paying attention to the shirt I'm wearing, these shirts, a limited edition, will be coming to our merch store soon. This is the Mo Power shirt. It's got logos on the back, the sleeve. There's a hat too. And I'm going to spoil one other thing. The hat and shirt version, the almost exact version, are going to be Twitch drops in the game coming up soon. So, Lathan, you don't have to worry. I spoiled soon. Yeah. As well as some of the other in-game brands that y'all love. So, Working Stiff, Tools, Passing Gas. I can't remember what else.
Yep.
What else we do?
Okay. Well, I think that's it, everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed this. I hope you heard at least some answers you liked. And let's hopefully everybody got their hats too.
Stay tuned. Some of these features will be coming in fairly soon, patches, and some we'll be sprinkling patches that propagate a lot of the stuff we talked about between soon and as time permits.
Oh, and keep an eye out on our socials, because I'm probably going to run a rerun of this. Because, we always have the time zone problem where, because we do it at this time, Europeans don't get to, be a part of this, and they miss out on the hat. And we feel bad about that. We want everybody to be able to get the pimp hat. So we're probably gonna sometime this weekend. I'm gonna run it during the day. We'll definitely announce it before. So yeah, thanks everybody. Please stick around for just a minute. We're gonna raid out to someone, but I hope, like I said, I hope everybody got the answers they wanted, and
Thank you all.
we'll see you next time. Bye everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.